Well, if you're reading the polls, you know that they point to a likely matchup between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton come November. But another one out today shows that Clinton would have the edge, leading Trump 50 to 41% among likely voters. These two are already throwing barbs at each other. Here's Clinton in last night's Democratic debate.
When he was engaging in rhetoric that I found deeply offensive, I said, basta. And I am pleased that others are also joining in making clear that his rhetoric, his demagoguery, his trafficking in prejudice and paranoia has no place in our political system, especially from somebody running for president who couldn't decide whether or not to disavow the Ku Klux Klan and David Duke.
Meanwhile, Trump told Sean Hannity in front of a live audience that if elected president, he would indict Hillary Clinton over her email scandal. Then Trump issued a warning about a potential feud with the Clinton camp.
I was hit only once by Hillary, and that was 4 weeks ago. And we haven't heard from her since. and I will tell you, I was not given proper credit because she went down during that period of time, and they gave the credit when Bernie Sanders all of a sudden started doing well. They gave all the credit. I did a big favor to him. But she said something about me, and I said something very strong about her and Bill. It was just a counter. I haven't even started on her yet.
Let's get the assessment from a couple of political watchers. Leslie Marshall, a radio host and Fox News contributor. Lars Larson is a syndicated radio host for the Alpha Media Network. Lars, first of all, you're kind of a Donald Trump fan, right?
I'm absolutely a Donald Trump fan. I endorsed him last week at CPAC. He's going to win. And I think Hillary Clinton, she says basta, I say basura. It's garbage what she says.
But those numbers in that poll we just put up, 50 to 41, Hillary Clinton leads among likely voters. How do you explain that?
Would you mind me pointing out that the greatest president in the United States in the last 100 years, Ronald Reagan, was trailing the worst president in American history, Jimmy Carter, well, worst until Obama, by 25 points in March of 1980. So I think all of the predictions of Donald Trump's demise in this race have been wrong for the last, 6, 7 months. I think they're wrong right now as well. I think he's going to win handily in November.
I suspect Leslie Marshall sees it differently. Leslie?
It's amazing to me, Lars, that you and the Trump supporters like polls when they show Donald leading, and they're right, they're accurate. But when they show him trailing, those are not accurate polls, and we cite history and Ronald Reagan and stuff like that. Hey, look, this is the reality. You're wrong about November, Lars. I do think he'll be your nominee, and I, as a Democrat, am happy about that because I think Donald Trump's a uniter of Democrats who are going to come out full force in November to vote for Hillary Clinton, who I believe will be the Democratic nominee because he does not have the majority of support of the majority of the Republican Party even. He has now, approximately 40% of the support. And even though a lot of Republicans will come out to vote for him, there'll be people that will switch sides and vote for Hillary or just stay home, and more Democrats will come out. So this poll may not be double digits yet, but I'm looking for Hillary Clinton's poll numbers to rise before November with Mr. Trump.
John, do you think that Leslie would mind a few facts in that argument? First of all, he's pulling 40% in a 4-candidate field that has been winnowed down from 18. Secondly, he will pull Democrats. Take a look at Pennsylvania, where 42,000 Democrats dumped their Democrat Party membership, transferred to the Republican Party, and it appears that the only motivating factor anyone can identify is Donald Trump. So he's going to get Republicans and he's going to get Democrats as well, just like Ronald Reagan did.
All right, but let's break down the numbers in that Washington Post ABC News poll a little bit more. On 4 key issues, Hillary Clinton beats him on all 4. He comes closest there at the top on the economy, losing 49 to 45% to Hillary Clinton. On terrorism, it's 54-40, immigration 56-37, and handling an international crisis 61 to 32%. Donald Trump loses. Lars,
I wonder how How does that work when the woman who's the likely Democrat Party nominee is a woman who couldn't handle a crisis involving a few dozen of her own employees at the State Department, and she managed to put them in harm's way and get 4 of them murdered and many of them maimed or wounded? And they're going to trust her to answer the 3 a.m. phone call that she used to talk about? I don't think so.
It is true, Leslie, that Donald Trump hasn't spent a lot of time attacking Hillary Clinton. He's gone after, other Republicans in this primary race, but hasn't done a lot against Hillary. Could those numbers change if he goes into full attack mode?
Actually, the numbers could change, John. I think with the people who have that mindset and like that rhetoric, they're already supporting Donald Trump, and I think he'll end up losing some people. I've always said for the past 2 years that it will be women and minorities that will determine the outcome of this election and who will be president in November. And I think with his rhetoric and attacks on Hillary, especially with her having a higher percentage when we look at numbers and the facts, Lars, of the female vote, that will hurt him with females. I think if she continues to stick with professionally, as we have seen in the Democratic debates, unlike the Republican debates, with issues, that's what the majority of American voters and those left and right who come out in November want. They want a president who's going to lead this nation and not be talking about the size of various body parts.
We still have more than 7 months till the election. We'll see if those two make it all the way. Lars Larson, Leslie Marshall, thank you both.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.